Hello, Miss Lillian here. Welcome back to Diary of a Kid Double Down. Left off on page 86. Mrs. Salsam said their house is way out in the sticks, and they don't really have any neighbors. Plus, because she works full-time and goes to school at night, she doesn't get many chances to set up play dates for Maddox. She said that when she read the letter, she knew it was meant to be, and they got in the car and drove right over. I was starting to get really uncomfortable. All I was trying to do was to win some candy corn. That's all I wanted to do. And now things are getting totally out of control. But before I could explain, this was all a big misunderstanding. Mom told me I should take Maddox upstairs and get to know him while she chatted with Miss Salsam in the kitchen. So now the kid is in my room, and it seems like it was just as awkward for him as it was for me. I tried making conversation, but I wouldn't get a word out of him. Eventually, I gave up and just pretended he wasn't there. Then I turned my computer to play a video game, though Maddox turned into a totally different person. He got all worked up and started making strange sounds. Ooh, itchy. I didn't know what was going on, but 5 seconds later, Mrs. Salsam came running to my room and turned off my monitor. She said that she doesn't allow Max to play video games, and the reason he was so animated was because he never actually seen one before. I wish she hadn't said her kid doesn't play video games, but I didn't need Mom getting any crazy ideas. Max was having trouble calming down, so Miss Salsam said that they would probably be headed home, and that was just fine by me. But I wish I hadn't been so eager to get him out the door, because after they drove away, I realized I never did get my balloon back. Yesterday I told Vice Principal Roy that someone found my balloon, but he wouldn't hand it over the candy corn unless I brought the balloon in to prove it. Sorry. Except that. So today when Mom said she wanted to take me to Maddox's house for a get-together, I was all for it. I figured I'd make a little chit-chat, grab my balloon, and be on my way. But Mom had other plans. We got to Salsam's house, which was in the middle of nowhere. Mom said that she was going to go into town to have coffee with Mrs. Salsam while I hung back with Maddox. Believe me, if I'd known that was going to be the deal, I would never got in the car. By the way, I got this. Haha. I'll show you the poster in a minute. When Mom dropped me off, I figured I might as well try making the most of it. Max was actually talking this time, so that was a decent start at least. I asked Maddox if he had any junk food, but his son said he won't let him have any kind of stuff. So I asked him if he wanted to watch some TV, but he told me they didn't have a television. At first I thought he was joking, but sure enough, in the family room, there was a bookshelf where the TV was supposed to go. In fact, there are books everywhere in this house. I asked Maddox what he does for fun, and he said either practices violin or plays his Legos. I was pretty relieved to hear that he actually had some toys, because I was starting to wonder about this kid. But when he showed me he had it in his bedroom, I was totally blown away. Woo! I can't whistle. Yeah, I can't whistle. had a whole Lego city in there. Max said that he wanted to be an engineer when he grows up. And whenever he asks for a Lego set, his mom buys it for him. And all I could say, she must have spent a fortune. Amazing, right? I love Legos. Maddox, you're my pal. I want to play with some of the big sets Maddox had, but he wouldn't let me go near them. He told me if I wanted to play with his Legos, I could use the pieces from his leftovers bin. That was a pretty big letdown, because their leftovers bin was filled with a bunch of random pieces. Dig, dig. So Maddox was putting together a 500-piece Lego spaceship, and I did the best with that I had. Horse. This little picture, I'll show you in a second. After about an hour and a half, Mom and Mrs. Selden finally came back. Luckily, my balloon was sitting on the table next to the front of the door, and I grabbed it on the way out. But just then, I was about to get in the car. Mrs. Selden came running out of Maddox right behind her. Maddox said, "I stole from him." I tried to explain that the balloon was actually mine, and I was just taking it back. But Maddox wasn't talking about the balloon. He says I stole one of his Legos. I'm sorry. I thought I was about to sneeze. Apparently one of the pieces was missing from his leftovers bin. And don't even ask me how he knew that. I swore up and down I didn't take any of his Legos. And I even turned my pockets inside out to prove it. But he still wasn't satisfied. So I actually let Maddox and Salesman pat me down, which was totally humiliating. Did I show you the picture? Sorry, I didn't show you the picture. There we go. But I gotta admit, it was pretty satisfying when they couldn't find anything on me. After I thought I was in the clear and trying to get in the car, that's when Maddox spotted the Lego that was stuck to my elbow. Hey! What really stinks is that it's one of those tiny square pieces. Well, I'm sure Maddox had 1 billion of those in his leftover bin. Actual size. Puny. Anyway, that's how our playdate ended. On a positive note, I got what I came for, but on the way home, Mom seemed pretty upset. I thought she was mad about the Lego piece, but she wasn't. She said that she was disappointed I didn't hit it off with Maddox because she thought she was a pretty good role model for me. But if Mom wants me to connect with someone I'll actually look up to, she's going to have to try a little harder. For the past few days, Mom's been doing an experiment on me and Roderick. She wanted to see how long we'd go before one of us would take out the trash without being told. But I guess we failed the test because last night she gave up. Scrape. At dinner, Mom